June 12, 1994. A quiet Brentwood neighborhood turned into a crime scene. Two bodies lay in pools of blood. Inside, two children slept, unaware their mother would never return. This was the night that shocked America and began the most famous murder case in history. A passerby discovered the gruesome scene. Nicole Brown Simpson's body was found at the foot of the courtyard stairs, while Ron Goldman lay nearby. The brutality of the attack was evident, leaving investigators stunned. As news of the murders spread, attention quickly turned to O.J. Simpson, a household name known for his football career and charismatic personality. His connection to the victims and troubled past raised suspicions, but few could have predicted the shocking turns the case would take. The discovery set in motion a complex investigation that would captivate the nation. What really happened that night in Brentwood? The truth, as it would unfold, was more complicated than anyone could have imagined. A troubled past unveiled. The story of O.J. Simpson and Nicole Brown began long before that fateful night in Brentwood. Their relationship started in 1977 when Nicole, a vibrant 18-year-old waitress, caught the eye of O.J., then a married football star. Despite the 11-year age gap and O.J.'s marital status, a connection sparked between them. After O.J.'s divorce in 1979, he and Nicole began dating openly. Their relationship seemed picture-perfect on the surface, a handsome sports icon and a beautiful young woman living a glamorous lifestyle. They married in 1985, cementing their status as a power couple in the public eye. But behind closed doors, a darker reality was unfolding. Friends and family members began noticing troubling signs of domestic abuse. Nicole confided in those close to her about O.J.'s jealous and controlling behavior, which often escalated to physical violence. The facade cracked publicly in 1989 when police responded to a domestic disturbance call at the Simpson residence. They found Nicole bruised and battered, having fled from O.J. in terror. During this incident, Nicole made a chilling statement to authorities that would prove tragically prophetic. "He's going to kill me." O.J. was arrested for domestic violence, but the charges were later reduced. He pleaded no contest and received a light sentence of counseling and community service. This pattern of abuse and leniency continued, with Nicole calling the police multiple times over the years. Despite the turmoil, Nicole remained in the marriage until 1992. The couple's separation was tumultuous, with Nicole citing irreconcilable differences in her divorce filing. Friends reported that she feared for her safety and that of her children. In 1993, the couple attempted a reconciliation. However, the underlying issues of jealousy, control, and violence persisted. Nicole finally ended the relationship for good later that year, a decision that reportedly enraged O.J. As 1994 began, Nicole was trying to build a new life for herself and her children. She maintained a cordial relationship with O.J. for the sake of their kids, but those close to her said she remained wary of his temper and possessive behavior. Nicole's fears were not unfounded. In the months leading up to her death, she expressed growing concern about O.J.'s actions. She told friends he was following her, showing up uninvited at her home and events she attended. The tension between them was palpable to those who knew them. The night that changed everything, June 12, 1994, began as an ordinary Sunday for Nicole Brown Simpson. She attended her daughter's dance recital in the afternoon, with O.J. Simpson also present. Later that evening, Nicole dined with her family at 𝗧𝗏𝗏, a trendy Brentwood restaurant. The mood was light as they celebrated her niece's high school graduation. Nicole left the restaurant around 8:30 p.m., stopping for ice cream with her children before returning home. Meanwhile, Ron Goldman, a 25-year-old waiter at 𝗧𝗏𝗏, was finishing his shift. At approximately 9:15 p.m., Nicole's mother realized she had left her glasses at the restaurant. Goldman, always helpful, volunteered to return them to Nicole's condo after work. As the night progressed, the events took a dark turn. Neighbors reported hearing Nicole's dog barking incessantly around 10:15 p.m. This was likely the time when Nicole and Ron became the victims of a brutal attack. Their bodies were discovered shortly after midnight, lying in pools of blood outside Nicole's Brentwood condo. The crime scene was horrific. Nicole's body was found at the bottom of the front steps, while Ron's lay nearby in the bushes. Both had suffered multiple stab wounds, indicating a frenzied and violent assault. Inside the condo, Nicole's young children slept, unaware of the tragedy unfolding just outside their door. As news of the murder spread, suspicion quickly fell on O.J. Simpson. His behavior in the hours following the crime raised eyebrows. At 11:00 p.m., less than an hour after the estimated time of the murders, Simpson was picked up by a limousine driver. He appeared agitated and refused to let the driver handle his bag. At 11:45 p.m., he boarded a flight to Chicago, leaving Los Angeles behind. The evidence found at the crime scene pointed strongly towards Simpson's involvement. A single bloody glove was discovered on the property, with its match later found at Simpson's Rockingham estate. DNA analysis of blood drops leading away from the bodies matched Simpson's genetic profile. Bloody shoe prints at the scene were consistent with a rare and expensive type of shoe that Simpson had been known to wear. Further investigation uncovered more damning evidence. Blood was found in Simpson's Ford Bronco, including samples on the driver's side door handle and interior surfaces. DNA testing revealed that this blood matched both Nicole and Ron's genetic profiles. A pair of socks found in Simpson's bedroom also tested positive for Nicole's blood. The prosecution's timeline allowed for Simpson to commit the murders and return home before departing for Chicago. His lack of alibi for the crucial time period between 9:36 p.m. and 10:54 p.m. on June 12th further fueled suspicion. A trial that captivated America. The trial of O.J. Simpson began on January 24, 1995, in Los Angeles. It quickly became known as the Trial of the Century, captivating audiences across America and beyond. For 9 months, the nation watched as the prosecution and defense teams battled in the courtroom, presenting evidence and arguments that would ultimately determine Simpson's fate. The prosecution, led by Marcia Clark and Christopher Darden, presented a compelling case against Simpson. They introduced DNA evidence found at the crime scene and in Simpson's vehicle, which they claimed linked him directly to the murders. The infamous bloody glove discovered at Simpson's estate became a central piece of evidence. Witnesses testified about Simpson's history of domestic violence against Nicole, painting a picture of a man capable of such a brutal crime. However, Simpson's defense team, dubbed the Dream Team, employed strategies that would prove highly effective. Led by Johnny Cochran, Robert Shapiro, and F. Lee Bailey, they worked to cast doubt on the prosecution's evidence. They argued that the police had mishandled and potentially planted evidence, suggesting a conspiracy against Simpson. The defense team also highlighted inconsistencies in the timeline presented by the prosecution. One of the most memorable moments of the trial came when Simpson attempted to try on the bloody glove in front of the jury. The glove appeared not to fit, leading to Cochran's famous phrase, "If it doesn't fit, you must acquit." This moment became a turning point in the trial, casting doubt on the prosecution's case. The trial was not just about the evidence presented in court. It became a reflection of deeper racial tensions within American society. The defense team successfully framed the case as an example of racial injustice, suggesting that Simpson was being unfairly targeted because of his race. This narrative resonated with many African American jurors and viewers who saw parallels with their own experiences of racial profiling and police misconduct. Media coverage of the trial was unprecedented. Cameras in the courtroom allowed millions of viewers to follow the proceedings live, turning lawyers and witnesses into household names. The intense scrutiny and constant commentary influenced public perception and potentially affected the trial's outcome. On October 3, 1995, after less than 4 hours of deliberation, the jury returned a verdict of not guilty. An estimated 100 million people across the United States tuned in to hear the judgment. The reaction to the verdict was deeply divided, often along racial lines. Many African Americans celebrated the decision as a victory against systemic racism, while others saw it as a miscarriage of justice. The shocking outcome of the criminal trial was not the end of Simpson's legal troubles. In 1997, a civil trial found Simpson liable for the wrongful deaths of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. The jury ordered him to pay $33.5 million in damages to the victims' families. This verdict, reached under a lower burden of proof, contrasted sharply with the criminal trial's outcome. The legacy of doubt. The O.J. Simpson case left a legacy of doubt that persists to this day. Despite the abundance of physical evidence presented at trial, the jury's verdict of not guilty shocked many. This disconnect between evidence and outcome fueled ongoing debate about the case's true nature. In 2007, Simpson's book, If I Did It, further muddied the waters. In it, he presented a hypothetical account of the murders, stating, "If I had actually done it, I would have brought my good gloves that day." This controversial publication reignited public interest and speculation about his involvement. The case demonstrates how high-profile trials can become more than legal proceedings. They often reflect broader societal issues and challenge our understanding of justice. As you consider the facts presented, remember that in cases like these, the court of public opinion can be just as influential as the court of law.